let's go ahead and do this because it seems like people really tick me off right now. Unfortunately, let's go ahead and do it because I'm really, really ticked off. Yep. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm live. Unfortunately, my friend is gone. Shimmer Crash is not here right now. He had a problem. He got scared of what happened at Gamergate. A lot of shit went down, and I kind of feel bad after what happened. He didn't want to. He wasn't responding, and I can understand why. Due to the fact that he is afraid of what's going on, and I sent him messages and telling him about what happened at Gamergate. He kind of got scared, and a lot of good reasons he was scared of. I don't blame anybody at Gamergate. I don't blame nobody. It's just a shame after what happened. It's a shame that I can't get my buddy to come on. There's been a lot of crazy shit going down, and we all know it. We all know what's going on. And it hurts. Let me tell you, it hurts. And I've been dealing with this for a while. I'm going to go ahead and do this single-handedly. If anybody wants to come on the show and talk, I'll gladly invite you guys. The thing is, my friend Shimmer Crash is not here, and he said he was going to come by Saturday to do a show, but I guess he wasn't really interested, and I don't know what happened to him. Let's face the fact here. He's scared. He's scared of the fact that what's going on is really bad. Because people are being threatened. People are being accused of something that they never did. And let's face that other truth there, right there. Since the whole issue with Brianna Wu happened, I think he kind of stepped back, and he didn't want to be considered to be called a misogynist or anything like that. He's a good person. Shimmer Crash, as I know, it's not his fault, and I can't blame him for what happened. I'm going to go ahead and talk about some stuff on Gamerload Live. If anybody wants to come on, you can send me a tweet on right down here, right down below, or you can send me a message. How's it going? Due to the fact that Shimmer Crash isn't here, I'm going to go ahead and start the show without him. I'm just doing this solo, and it's sad. The thing is that I don't want to, get anybody upset or pissed off, but I feel bad for what happened, and I have to say sorry to my friend Shimmer Crash, because he's really, he's afraid, he's scared. And he's like the only buddy that I know, and I met him in college. And it's said that he had some issue. He has some depression issues, and I can understand that he can't deal with it all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and go on with the show without him and talk about. Let's see. Let's do a bit review. I'm gonna talk about Demon Forge, which I have right here. I played this game for a while. This game came out a long while back, around let's see if I remember, 2011, and it was done by, Bersaida and ZeniMax Media and NXL Entertainment under the Unreal Engine, and it was pretty good. And I have to say that they did a good job with that game, but the problem with that game was there was a lot of the animation was okay for its time. It wasn't that bad. The graphics were really great, but it just didn't do so well as a game. It had a lot, especially though it actually had it's kind of like Diablo in a way. You can dungeon crawl the whole area, and it can even generate its own map of everything you do. And it's a very interesting game, but the sad part about this game, it was a real disappointment. It was a really big failure. And I remember this game being one of the few games that were never noticed, and it just sucked. And it's a shame that game really was terrible. And of course, recommended by a lot of people. It was given a load. It was given a load of crap. But it actually was a very fun game, but at the same time, it sucked. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and talk about another game. It's called No More Heroes, which actually was a pretty awesome game. It was actually a pretty fun game. I actually have it right here. It's on Wii. It's on Wii, and I played it on the Wii U, by the way. For a game that actually had a lot of interesting stuff, it was actually a pretty good game. Controlling wasn't an issue. I tend to run out of battery power off of this game, but it's a pretty good game. It's a decent game. I actually enjoyed it. The difficulty of it was pretty good. The game pretty much was very creative. Very creative storyline, very creative. Even though it didn't have any plot line to it, it just was nonsense laughter. This game pretty much showed how fun it is, and it was done by Grasshopper, the same people who did by Suda51 and others. Grasshopper manufacturer, the same people who did like Killer 7. And they did another sequel to it. It was like No More Heroes, and it was actually a pretty good game too. I might try to get that one. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about another game. And this game happens to be Depression Quest. I'm going to say this right now. And I'm going to say this right now as a person. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to try to be a little bit, how do you say, objective or something like that. This game it was very creative by thought, but at the same time, it was boring. Reading it made me kind of depressed, and looking at it, wondering, what the heck am I supposed to do with this game? The way this game works is basically, you basically choose what you want to do. It's like A, B, or C, or D, and then it goes to another page, and basically goes to A, and you choose whatever you want. Statistically, you would wind up either depressed, or basically, let's just say, moderately depressed. And this game kind of, didn't do well. I don't know why this game was on Steam, and it got 4 rewards. And it was, I just don't get it. But you want to know what the reading of it was kind of plain. It just didn't seem like it made you feel depressed. It made you feel sad. And looking at that game, it just didn't seem kind of fun. After reading the whole thing, like deciding whether or not, because reading it was like, okay, this is about a white male who's depressed, and he's moving around, trying to, and he's like, he has a fear of being around crowds. And that doesn't sound like depression, but to me, it just kind of sounds like he had like a phobia of sort. I don't know what that phobia is called though. And he basically was depressed. And after looking at that game, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now in an emotional way. This game sucks balls. No, really. This game sucks balls. Trust me. If you played this game, you're going to be bored as hell, and you want to kill yourself, and you pretty much don't give a crap. That's an emotional response to that game. That game sucks. It's boring as hell. Yes, it's creative, but it sucks. It sucks balls. You don't believe me? Play the game for 5 minutes. Heck, I haven't seen anybody play this game. I haven't heard any reviews except for maybe Ars Technica saying that it's a very creative game, but it's like this game this game blows. This game is boring as hell. It's not a game. Seriously, it's not a game. It's just a bunch of, sites connected to make a story. It's a story game. That's pretty much what it is. It's not the best game ever made. Trust me, it isn't. And it's just this game sucks. I'm just saying. No one has ever reviewed this game. No one has ever played this game. And yet they think this game is all that. I don't even know why this won 4 rewards in IndieCat and I don't even get it. It just won 4 rewards. And this game, and I bet if you play this game for 10 or 20 minutes, and you'll easily get bored from this game. This game is horrible. This game, honestly, is an example of what bad games are. No matter how creative the art is, no matter how great it is the worst example of a bad game. I don't give a crap how favorable it is. I don't give a crap how great it is. I don't give a crap about how the concept is. It is boring as fucking hell. And you think that's the worst criticism it should get? That's the truth. That's my perspective of it. You don't have to take my perspective of it. Everyone else has a better perspective of this game. Reading it just made it seem boring as hell. It made it more depressing as it is. And that's what the intention of the game is. It makes you more depressing. Made me want to kill myself. And I just don't get it. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about another interesting thing. The critics have spoken. Yes, we're going to talk about how Polygon gave it a 7.5. Well, the only reason why they gave it a 7.5, I can tell you this right now. I kind of feel bad for them, personally. And personally, they kind of, went off on this game, saying it's a sexist game. And I'm like, it actually empowers women. It actually, the funny thing about it, I had to listen to some people about this, that this game actually does, I actually played the demo of it, and I had to say it was a pretty good demo. It's just a shame that people, think that this woman is doing something wrong. It's like, she didn't do nothing wrong. The character did nothing wrong. She actually played the character, this character was well played and well done. and it was done. This character was drawn by a woman, and yet everyone's like upset that this thing doesn't represent a woman. This thing does not represent anything. No, it doesn't represent anything. It represents how a woman should it represent. But here's the thing about what I'm bothered about the issue. People bringing up about this game, about women in the industry. Not everyone can care about how many women represent the industry. If you want women to represent the industry, you should try to approach it in a slow way. Like, for example, Ryokyo Komadama. She was the character designer and sprite. She actually did the animation sprites for Sonic the Hedgehog, Shinobi, Alter Beast. She's also the producer. She worked her way at the bottom to get to the top, and she managed to get producer status in Sega. And the sad part is that this game, she made some very good games, and she worked her way to the bottom, to the top, as a woman who worked at the bottom of Sega to get to the top. You know what I'm saying? She actually earned more respect as a woman in the industry in Japan, who worked her ass off, made great games. I'm going to tell you, there are some great games she made, she helped make. And yet people say there's no women in the industry. She's been around since the 80s, motherfuckers. The 80s. And yet everyone wants to bring up, oh, there's no women in the industry. There was a woman that was in the industry longer than, I don't know, Zoe Quinn. Longer than anybody. Anybody in the industry. If you don't know who she is, look her up. I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's Ryokyo Komadama or Komadame, and she actually helped create Sonic the Hedgehog. She actually made the sprites for Sonic the Hedgehog, and yet no one believes me. Look her up. And the sad part is that Bayonetta 2 was done by a character, and it's just a shame that people disrespect her for that. Disrespected a person who made this game, who helped make this game, made the character designs for this game, and I suggest you check her out. And it's a shame that most people talk about Polygon's review. Who gives a crap? Polygon wants to talk about how they support feminism. They should. Let them. It shows how bad they are, how horrible they are. They can support it. Just admit it. Put it on your thing that you support feminism. You support how you feel about feminism, which is fine. You support the fact that this woman offended you. She basically kicked every monster's ass, and you're offended. She's pretty much a magical woman, and that pretty much upsets me about it. And everyone's upset about it. I'm gonna go ahead and change the subject now. And talk about Sir Railgun. Everyone calls her Eisner 4R. I gotta give you props, because you're a very good person for helping protect everyone in the community who supports Gamergate, who doesn't like to be harassed, who is right now trying to send evidence of harassment from both sides. If you really want to get in touch with him, send him an email, also screenshots or anything. If you're being harassed on the Gamergate side or the anti-Gamergate side, please send messages to him or her, which I cannot know the identity of the person, but a nice person. please send any information you would like to give out to him about if you're being harassed or doxxed or anything to sir.railgun@gmail.com. For any information of anybody harassing or trying to bother anybody, you can send it at Twitter at _ ICZE4R, sorry. Which you can see right here. It's the picture. That's his Twitter account. I suggest you go to him and talk to him if you're being harassed or doxxed or bullied on the internet. He will gladly turn it over to Vice or any other news foundation if you feel threatened. All right, here we go. Here's a controversial game that everyone's talking about, Hatred, which actually, looking at this game being being one of those little games that you ever see, it's not like it's a third-person shooter. It's like a second-person shooter, just going on the ground shooting them up games. I have to say it's a pretty good game, but it's a shame that this game sucks. It's getting a lot of controversy because of the violence that it has. Like one person said, it was like Monday Matt said, it was like Postal, which I haven't been able to play that game. So there's a lot of games out there that have a lot of violence, and I'm pretty sure Doom was probably one of them that nobody wanted to play. I was lucky to play Doom. Hatred was actually done by an unknown group, I forgot what they were called, who decided they don't give a shit, we're gonna release it anyways, because even though the controversy of Gamergate and all this other stuff happening, it is kind of interesting to talk about. And I personally don't really care if the game comes out. I know my friend is not going to play it, and pretty much I'm just going to be unhappy about it. I don't really play violent video games that much, but I do play them sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. It's just sad, really. It's just sad. But if it's the kind of game you want to play it. It's a very fun game. I have to say, it's one of the funnest games ever. And I hope it's probably going to be the funnest game, the most violent game ever. Probably using the Unreal Engine, as I know. And I'm pretty sure those guys at Unreal will be like, hell no, this game is way beyond our games that we play. Well, I'm pretty sure every game that you make that is violent on the Unreal Engine would probably look great. But I'm not going to talk about that anyways. It's just a shame, though. I wanted to get my friend on, but it seems like he's not coming on anytime soon. And I feel bad that things haven't been really great lately. Since a lot of things had happened, there was a lot of people feeling threatened about what's going on. I know that there was an incident where one of the streamers who are supporting GG got doxxed and also got hacked on their streams. Right now they're finding evidence, and I pretty much hope that they succeed. Because right now I feel kind of bad after what happened to people. There's been a lot of people that are supporting GG. There's some people that are not supporting GG, which I understand that they just want this to end on a good note. I know that most people, don't want to support any side, but here's the problem. People are being belittled, and they're upset. They're being upset because they feel that this person is insulting them, and they are throwing it at them in their face, telling them, I disagree with you, you're insulting me, You're insulting my intelligence. That is wrong. And that's pretty much what happens. And I know that this is pretty much what adults are doing. Insulting people. Look, let's put it this way. I had to put up with a lot of crap. I put up with a lot of insults. I put up with a lot of crap from people for a very long time. And people expect me to take the crap. Heck, I remember a long time ago, I was in a classroom being belittled, being disrespected, being told I'm an idiot, being told I was wrong all the time because I did something wrong for a long time ago. I admit, I did a lot of wrong things. But what they did that upset me for a long time ago, and I'll tell you this story. The program that they did was basically called behavior management in Texas. They basically had issues with children with behavioral problems, and they basically put them in an isolated classroom, basically in a cubicle desk in a portable classroom, which you go outside and go into these little trailers, and they basically put you in that classroom and you sit down, and the only thing you could do is have a bathroom break or two. What happened was a kid was withheld lunch, and that kid basically had a problem with, in the past, being withheld lunch from his family, and of course his family, CPS took him away. And what happened next with this kid was he wanted to get the hell out of that classroom because, well, they got upset with him arguing over stuff, and they withheld lunch from him. Which turns out you can't do that. They're allowed to eat lunch, but they did this as a punishment, as corporal punishment, which they were technically allowed to do, but it turns out they weren't allowed to do that. And what happened next was they tried to restrain him. And that story, that thing really upset me because I knew what they did. They basically fold your arms like this and put you on the ground, and you're not able to breathe. And what happened next was this kid took it down on the ground, and because if they feel that the kid is being defiant, they have to put him on the ground, sit on him, and he wasn't able. And of course the kid said, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe." And this kid suddenly got his chest crushed, and he suddenly had a seizure, which is faking it. He was faking it. He wasn't faking it. And what happened next? They accidentally hurt him. It's sad because that kid died. The way I don't want to see that happen to people. I don't want to see people getting hurt. But it's sad that kid died, and that kid didn't deserve to die. Even with an argument like that, that kid did not deserve to die like that. No matter how bad people are, I can understand that people had an issue with the kid, but come on. Having an argument over lunch, which is like, that was the stupidest thing ever happened in my entire life. And I felt bad. I felt bad for what happened to that kid, because I knew the school obviously lied the first time they said that the kid died of a seizure, and then they confessed that they accidentally restrained him, which I knew from the beginning. I even blurted out in college when I found out about this kid. that this kid must have died from being restrained. That's what happened to him. And they said he died of a seizure. And that was bullshit, because when I found out that the kid came from Maynard Middle School in a behavior management class, I was like, uh-oh, he was restrained. They put him on the ground, and I knew they said, wait, this kid didn't die of a seizure. This kid died of being restrained. And it was obvious. And then the police found out about it. And let me tell you, karma's a bitch when they did that. And I attended that classroom too. And let me tell you, they don't fool around. Because I've been in that classroom before. And how they handled that situation, they basically, they're still doing it. They're still doing the behavior management thing. But the way I see it, luckily they changed and stopped it. Even though, yeah, they're still doing the restraining thing. But the problem is, it's still going on. And it's sad that people don't take and it's sad how the situation is. No one took responsibility for that kid's life. I understand that the lady faced the judge and, well, they let her go, because I understand that she was trying to do her job as a teacher, and that's how they do things in that program. And I don't blame anybody. But right now they're digging a hole in the backyard. And it's sad that my friend is having problems. And I kind of feel bad that my friend is afraid and scared. And he doesn't want to, get involved in Gamergate right now, because after what happened. I wanted to do game reviews, but unfortunately my friend didn't show up on them. As much as I want to do game reviews with him, and I enjoy hanging out with him, I guess I can't blame him. And I wasted all this time trying to do a stream, and I guess no one wants to show up. And I understand how those people feel. So I'm just going to go ahead and go. See you guys later. Because I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and just say goodbye. Because right now I'm just kind of upset. Because I'm disappointed that my friend... So, take care, guys.